The substance of the dream is expressed in these profound words.
Hello. It seems to me a lot of people are going out the wrong way. It's like we're working backwards. It's sort of a regression instead of a progression, you know what I mean? Anytime little kids getting hurt up, caught in the crossfire of a drug war,
I'm Loraine Ballard Morrill, and I'm so delighted to have in the studio my very good friend Woody Beal, otherwise known as DJ Woody Wood. He is the executive director of YOACAP, which is the organization on the forefront of a campaign called Sharp Insight. And this is a great campaign. It's a campaign using one of our most beloved institutions, the barbershop, to reach out to the community and to get men to vote and get more involved. Woody, great to have you in the studio.
Hey, what's going on, Loraine?
Oh, you are so hype.
Yeah.
Well, you know, before we get into the specifics of Sharp Insight, just rolling back the time machine back to 1990, when was it when you had 3 times dope?
Yeah, about 89, 90, 91, 92, you know, so it's a few years back, but hey, 3 times dope, that was my wonder years.
Yeah, you did some great stuff then, but you went off on a different track and became very involved in the community, and now you are executive director of this, one of the premier youth outreach organizations, YOACAP, and you're now taking on this campaign called Sharp Insight. Tell us what it is.
Sharp Insight, well, first, in YOACAP, we did a lot of work in barbershops, and we did some health things, doing STD testing, and you know, we did some voter education things and registering people to vote. And we thought, why not take it a step further? So I have a great team of people working around me, and you know, we came up with this whole idea: if we can get the barbers, if we can train them, and then they can talk to their customers about the importance of being involved with, you know, voting and getting and volunteering and just being involved in the community overall. You know, it would be a great project. So we were one of the finalists for the Night News Challenge, and we actually won. And I'm very excited because this not only impacts Philadelphia, but it impacts the country around black men and being involved in barbershops and voting and civic engagement.
Yeah, well, I think this is a great idea because barbershops are really the center of so many of our communities. A lot of conversation goes on in barbershops, and barbershops are places of influence, and certainly you've proven that in the work that you've done with STDs and reaching out on a lot of different issues through barbershops. So tell us how the program is going to work. Right now you're recruiting barbers?
Yep, exactly. So we're calling barbers from North Philly, Frankfurt, West Philly, South Philly, Mount Airy, Germantown, West Oak Lane, just all over Philly to join us and be partners. And once we get a barbershop, and they've been calling too, to come on board, we're going to actually develop a list of barbers. Then we're going to spend a little time training barbers on their off days, typically on Mondays, you know, when they're off. And we're going to give them the tools they need so they can actually go back and talk to their customers. The same thing they do every day. There's nothing different. They're just talking to their customers about the importance of being involved, talking to their elected officials and letting them know what issues are important to them, things like that. So we're going to help the barbers, you know, and we're going to give them an outreach team. So we're going to send YOACAP's outreach team into the barbershop to support the barbers until they feel very comfortable. So it'll be like having a team of people in there working with you to support the overall project.
Right, and there's also something in it for the barbers. I mean, certainly they'll want to do it because it's a good thing to do, but we as Iheart Media, we're going to be helping you. We're your partners, so we'll be highlighting some of the barbers, and there'll also be other incentives for them as well, right?
I think the part about this is that I thought was interesting when we talked to some of the barbers in the past. They said, listen, we don't really need incentives per se because we care about our customers. You know, they're the gatekeepers, you know, of the community in a sense. So we felt like we should build in some incentives. So we're going to be doing some special programming at the barbershops and recording it and shouting out the barbers and doing some things on social media. We're going to have some special events. Heck, I'm even trying to get my boys ES and Chuck Nice, you know, to do some performances with some of our friends. You just did a PSA with my man Freeway.
Yes.
So Freeway and some other artists are being involved. I'm very excited about that, and I think it gives us a chance to have community partner with you guys, along with, you know, the barbershops and people. And I just think this is a great, way to get that energy riled up to get people out to vote and to make sure they get involved into their community. But we're really targeting like black men, we're being, real specific.
Yes, and this is a great time to be ramping up because we're heading into the 2016 elections, and that's a big one. It's presidential. And we've got a lot of folks who are they're not real happy with the system. We have a lot of people who feel like their vote doesn't count. And so when you get so many of those people, then people become unempowered. So this is really, really critical, isn't it?
Yep, I think that's a good point. I think there's some mistrust of systems. Black men typically, they feel like, well, can I trust this dude? I don't really know him. I don't know much about, what he stands for. I think the way we're presenting this is not about being Republican or Democrat. It's being nonpartisan, but really trying to help them so they can inform themselves, so they can make better choices for their families and feel comfortable about it. I mean, that's the whole thing. So our way of doing it is not really talking about candidates, but more so talking about, issues and how to connect the dots, because it's important that they vote because that impacts jobs, it impacts a lot of things that impact their family, so we want them to understand that and then find out some of the needs that they have. So if we can find it out too by being in the barbershops and some of those things, we can bring those resources and help them maybe connect the dots, and then they'll probably maybe go out and vote more. I mean, that's the overall concept. So
yeah.
I'm hoping everybody gets it, and we're going to be doing this all the way into the end of November next year. So I'm really excited, but we want barbers to call in. Our number is 215-851-1968. It's very important they give us a call and let us know that you're interested, and we'll put your name on the list. But we're looking for between 75 and 100 barbers in the city, so please give us a call.
Well, Woody, I want to thank you so much for coming in. Very exciting program, sharp insight, reaching out to barbers, barbershops. They are the core of our community, and hopefully barbers will be calling that number. What's that number once again?
It's 215-851-1968, 215-851-1968. Or you can look us up on the internet, sharpinsight.org, sharpinsight.org. And, however you call us or contact us, we're ready to hear from you.
Well, Woody, always a pleasure. Woody Beal, Executive Director of YOACAP, which is the lead organization for a campaign called Sharp Insight, which is utilizing barbers and barbershops to get black men engaged in the civic process and getting them excited about voting. The 2016 elections are heading this way. We've got to get people registered. We've got to get people engaged. Thank you so much for everything you do, Woody. Thank you.
Thank you for having me. And, I hope that everybody gives us a call. I just got to say it one more time. 215-851-1968. Give us a call. Thank you.
All right. I'm Loraine Ballard Morrill.
It's pleasure beyond measure that we put